Good morning, students. In today's class, we have a presentation by one of your friend, Manisha Patil, on Apex API. Okay. Yes, Manisha, you can begin with your presentation.
Okay. Good morning, sir and my friends. I've gathered some information about Apex API. To begin with the introduction, I would like to start with what is API. API is an acronym that stands for Application Programming Interface. It is an interface provided by an app wherein two applications to talk to each other, which means that interface provided by an app that allows the third parties to use it. For example, based on daily basis activity, I have taken an example. Each time you see an app like WhatsApp, we send an instant message and we also get a response to know whether a message is being sent or not. Similarly, we can also check the weather on your phones by using certain apps such as weather forecast apps, etc. So here basically you are using an API. In simple, it is a two-way interaction, that is the user interaction can be termed as an API. Next is the API representation. In this diagram, we can understand what is basically an API. We as a user or a client, we make a request to a particular website to pertain or fetch data via a medium. Here the medium could be a website, and the website is in the form of HTTP and by using internet, and the format used here is XML. It is further sent to the server. Here the service provider processes and sends back the response on the device being used by the client. It could be computer or any electronic gadget used by a particular client. Next, we have what is Apex. So basically, Apex is a development platform for building software as a service. As we already know, software as a service is a way of delivering applications over the internet as a service, and we as user can use it. Apex is strongly typed object-oriented, on-demand programming language. We know that object-oriented programming language follows a particular methodology to design program using classes and objects. So it's a way easier to use classes and objects. Next, it is compiled, stored, and run entirely on the force.com platform. Compiled here is that the source code is converted into any high-level language, and it is entirely run on the force.com platform as it is platform as a service. It provides us platform to build certain applications. Apex syntax looks mostly like Java, as it also follows object-oriented approach. Next point is that it allows developers to attach business logic and is more helpful for them. Here, the business logic could be certain custom rules or algorithms which can be used by that particular firm. The last point here is it has built-in support for unit test creation and execution. Unit test is something which is a smallest piece of a code which is tested first and then integrated together, and then we can execute it further. Coming to next, when can we use Apex? We can use Apex when we want to create web services. As we know, web services, it provides worldwide web services. Example like the web services are HTML, JSON, XML, that is extensible markup language, etc. Second is create email services. By creating email services, it provides friendly features that can be sent via mail to anyone at any particular location. Third is that create complex business processes. It is easy for the business to create business processes, as the business can have own attributes by which the business firm can be created, having their own set of standards. The fourth point is create custom transactional logic, which means that if we want to add or do any modification to our transaction, it can be done using certain logic that can be implied on the overall transaction and not just with a single record or set of objects. Coming to the features of Apex or advantages, we can say, first one is that it is easy to learn or easy to use. As we know, Apex is very easy as it uses the Java-like syntax, which is quite easier to understand and code as we make use of the objects and classes. So it uses that approach and it is way easier to perform any task on it. Second feature is that it is integrated. Apex has built-in support of DML, that is data manipulation language, and operations such like insert, delete, update, etc. can be performed here. Lastly, coming to the disadvantages of Apex. Although Apex has no major disadvantages, there are few limitations mentioned below. It is not possible to create threads in Apex, unlike other programming languages. As we've already studied what is thread in Java, we know that by implementing threads, we can perform multiple tasks simultaneously hand in hand. But here in Apex, we cannot perform those. The second limitation states that a developer cannot change the standard functionality. Here, the standard functionality are the set of functions to be followed given by a particular application interface. But here, the developer is not allowed to manipulate any of them and should strictly follow those set of functions provided by that API. The last limitation is that it is not possible to create temporary files in Apex. Usually, we know we create temporary files to hold information while a file is being created, or if you want any modification. At that moment, we create temporary files. But in Apex, we are not allowed to create any of the temporary files. So this was an end. This is what I just wanted to convey. Thank you.
A big round of applause to Manisha. Students, if there are any doubts, any questions, you can ask. Well done, Manisha. You have covered pretty much details on Apex. Now,
Thank you, sir.
okay. Now, couple of few quick questions here. Now, is Apex API, is it a software as a service or is it a platform as a service? What type of service is this Apex API? Is it a platform as a service or is it a software as a service?
Software as a service.
Software as a service. How about others? Okay, now I think the screen is visible to you. Now read this particular statement and understand what is this particular Apex is. Is it a software as a service product or is it a platform as a service product? Students, I am talking to you.
It's a platform as a service which is used for developing a SaaS product, sir.
Okay, that's correct. So the Apex is now what? It is a platform as a service. Okay, now this is been provided by which particular organization?
Force.com.
Force.com. Very good. Now Force.com is part of which company or which vendor?
Salesforce.com.
Yes, very good. It's a part of Salesforce.com. Salesforce.com is a cloud vendor and they have a platform as a service, which is called as force.com, right? That is, we have studied in the previous classes, right? And as part of that development activity, they have their own API, this called as an Apex API, right? Using that, the developers can develop certain softwares which can run on salesforce.com websites as a web services. Okay? And the syntax of this Apex actually consists of three things. Let me cover up the other slide. Let me just open up the other slide and show you. Now, these are the few points which we have covered, right? The Apex is what? It is a platform as a service, which basically more than 50% of the what Salesforce.com services are there. All of them are written using the Apex API. And this data was a decade before, but now more than 80 to 90% of the services which have been supported or given by the Salesforce.com, all are using the Apex API only. Okay, this Apex is something which is developed by the Salesforce.com team themselves. Okay, now Apex basically consists of this particular development platform consists of three things. One is the Apex Builder, second is the API, and the third is the code, the programming code which supports the Apex coding. Right? Apex Builder, it is like a kind of a tool which helps in manipulating or a kind of a drag and drop facility provides. Using that, the components can be added or components can be removed, or the placement of certain components can be modified according to the requirement of the customer. It is like a visual force, or what we have covered in the previous class. Visual force, something kind of a visual force, a kind of a interface. Using that, based upon the customer requirement, a drag and drop facility will be given to the developer, and the developer can modify the built-in functionality of the services. And then the API itself, which provides the communication, which behaves as a communication channel between the client and the servers. And in order to perform these interactions, they need to write certain code. And that particular code, we call it as an Apex code, a programming language that can be executed on its own servers. We can't run this particular Apex code locally on any of the machine. It has to be executed on its servers only, because it is completely owned by the Apex team, that is Salesforce.com team itself. So for a point of examination, you may get a 5-mark question on Apex API, okay, wherein you need to write about the previous slide and this particular slide, and you can add a few more points what Manisha has covered over there. Okay, most of as coming to the coding part, if a developer is familiar with Java programming language, then Apex is not difficult for him. Okay, a developer can easily write a Apex code if the developer is very familiar with the Java programming. The Apex makes use of the class concepts because it is an object-oriented programming language. The classes and objects, all the functionalities of object-oriented concepts can be made use in the Apex code.